At dawn on July 10, 1943...
It was known as the Italian Campaign, a nearly 2-year-long push by Allies to expel German forces from the Italian peninsula. 70 years later, there are few alive that can tell the story of those final months of World War II. The Associated Press's George Bria is one of them.
The situation was a very, very harsh battle up the Italian peninsula by the Americans coming up on the Mediterranean side and the British and Canadians coming up on the other side.
By June of 1944, with Rome under Allied control, victory seemed certain, but the bloody campaign would continue for another 9 months.
After the capture of Rome, we had one line after another of Germans that we had to capture positions. We went straight up Florence and so on. It took a long time to get the Germans out of there. They were fighting bitterly.
As war correspondent, Bria covered Rome, and between its liberation and that of the country, he witnessed several historic events.
The trial of Pietro Caruso. He was the police chief in Rome at the time. And he was tried, he was convicted, and he was executed. And I covered the execution. And they put Caruso in a chair, strapped him in a chair, with his back to the firing squad. And a friar was there administering the last rites. The friar backed off, firing got shot, he slumped over and he died.
And while Caruso's execution was out of the public eye, that of the deposed fascist leader, Benito Mussolini, was different. After being shot dead, Il Duce and his mistress, along with several other fascists, were put on public display. Within 4 days of Mussolini's death, Italy had been liberated. A formal end to all hostilities in Europe came with Germany's unconditional surrender on May 7th. Luke Sheridan, The Associated Press.